Welcome back to We Never Learned the Rules in this, episode 13 of our Call of Cthulhu campaign, Masks of Nyarlathotep. My name is Brendan O'Toole, and I'm your keeper for the evening. Joining me today are Evan and Anna Johnson, who are playing Roni McMurray and Trixie Carnahan. Last episode, Trixie and Roni dealt with the death of their friend and fiancé, Jackson Elias. And after speaking with the police and going through grief, they met with Jackson's attorney, who was calling in concern, and learned that Jackson was calling them all together before he was murdered to speak with them about the Carlisle expedition, a mysterious expedition that disappeared in Kenya some years ago. And having just left Carlton Ramsey's office, that's where we're going to pick back up.
It's Jackson Eli.
I don't know where you're going with this.
I forgot like halfway through the word.
Are you trying to do like Eli's 6 feet under?
Yeah,
or?
Something like that. That's not what I was going to say. But
Although he's going to be cremated, so.
don't you want to like freeze the body or something? Don't you want to Walt Disney the body?
Oh my God, what?
So that, I don't know.
What, to like bring him back?
Yeah, like go get some of that gold or something. Remember
Yikes.
the gold that
I'm not going to use
make people vampires?
Cursed gold to bring back. Jackson would not want it
Sounds
that
like
way.
you just don't really love him.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. To bring him back from the great beyond with cursed gold? He would never forgive me.
Well, he would be in the great beyond, and then he'd be in bath and then bed, and then he'll be back home.
All right. Wow. I'm ready to get started.
Okay. Yeah, it's Roni, Trixie. You are in Trixie's Tesla Pen 15 with Kyle in the back seat. What would you like to do?
So what was that other nerd's name? Just kidding.
Is that what Roni says?
No. Okay, so what? We're going to go see that other guy, right? What was your other friend's name?
Jonah?
Jonah.
Yeah, I'll give him a call, and I'm going to call up Jonah.
Sounds like a real fuckboy kind of name.
No, Jonah, you've met Jonah, Roni. Jonah is Jackson's publisher, the owner of Prospero Press. It is not like Borderline News. It's got more prestige, but it is still kind of a small news organization that also like publishes some books, some nonfiction books and stuff like that. Kind of a prestigious house where they really curate their authors and their journalists, and it has some prestige. So Trixie, you pull up Jonah's name on the large center touch screen. And as it is a Tesla, it's like almost as big as any TV Roni has ever owned.
Call Jonah.
Calling Jonah Kensington. And it starts to ring. Rings once.
How does the fucking
Twice.
car know a person's name?
3 times.
Trixie, Trixie, are you...
Yeah, it's me, Jonah.
I just heard this morning. How are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Jackson left some stuff, information, and he actually altered his will before he went home. I mean,
he what?
He altered his will. Like we just went to see Carlton, and but you know, when he landed late last night, I mean, not that long ago, he it sounds like he talked with you, and then before going home, he actually was stopped by and saw Carlton and adjusted his will. And so we wanted to come by and talk with you about what he shared with you.
Yeah, he backed up some of his notes here, just, like he normally does. Yeah, come on in. I can get down to the offices right away. Give me like 30 minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
You know, something I realized that we didn't ask was like if anyone Oh, did I ask this if anyone else was on the will?
You did.
Okay. And no one else was?
No.
Okay.
Just charities.
Unless the Boys and Girls Club is a front for something else.
I mean, no. Okay. He'll meet us in 30 minutes at the offices.
Yep.
Okay.
So I want to have the car drive us that way, but
Yep.
I would like to go through a coffee drive-through.
Yeah, no problem. You get your morning coffee. Kyle speaks up from the back seat. I'll do like a latte with at least 2 slices of the frosted lemon bread.
Sure thing, Kyle. Anything for you, Ronnie?
I don't think they do the coffee the way I like it,
You can ask for it black.
but I want it brewed again with the coffee.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
the
they're
Ronnie
not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, also all their money goes to these awful, terrible, causes and
No, he's right.
billionaires and
Yeah, man, he's right.
yeah, fuck yeah, Kyle.
Kyle,
you're finally-
do you want your latte or not?
He quiets down.
Ronnie, I have been up all night.
Hey, me too.
My fiance is dead.
yeah,
And
right.
apparently, there are people out there that wanted him dead that may also want us dead. And we have been called to do a really big task for my dead fiance. So you know what? I'm
Yeah.
going to give the corporations their money so that they give me my morning coffee. And you're going to shut up about it or you can walk.
I can walk. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Trixie. I love this car. I love.
Ronnie, it's obvious you don't love the car. That's fine.
Coffee's great. And so on.
At least
So-
what I drink is actually coffee. You drink like jet fuel.
Yeah.
I imagine we are at the front of the drive-through
Yeah,
line.
it's been inching through, and you get your coffee.
And as I drink it, I'm just gonna sort of turn and glare and just stare at Ronnie. Wow, tastes like corruption.
And Kyle speaks up from the back seat. Corruption never tasted so good.
That's right, Kyle. And I turn back to Ronnie and just do a "what you gonna do about it" face.
I'm going to. I just I'm sorry. Sorry. Didn't mean to hurt your feelings. But, well, no. No, no, you're good. You deserve your corporate coffee.
Thank you. I imagine that the place I had
people who make
picked,
the
though,
coffees deserve all that labor.
the place I would have picked is my local favorite. So I'm not saying there aren't a couple locations around, but it's not like a Starbucks. We're talking a little more specific to New York City.
Yeah, it's Scub Rats.
Scub Rats?
Just Starbucks backwards.
Oh. Okay, that's going to take me a second.
Surprise. Oh my god.
Starbucks.
I mean, those kids still are underpaid. Those poor, outsourced laborers, but it's fine. They still buy the coffee from those terrible suppliers, but it's fine. It's just coffee, right?
And as you're driving, a text message pops up from Carlton saying $350,000 has been put into your accounts.
Oh, fuck.
Each of our accounts?
Yours.
Oh, my account?
Yes.
$350,000?
Yes.
Oh, boy. I'll add that to my $750.
No, you literally don't have to worry about keeping track of that. That's just
Yeah.
It's kind of what Jackson had put together for the... It's not kind of. It is what Jackson had put together for this investigation.
Okay, it's not my total inheritance from him?
No.
I was like, damn, I was his sugar mama.
Well, yes, you made more than him by quite a bit.
Yeah.
He was using you, Trixie. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
How dark.
Stirring the pot. Okay.
Just like in real life.
Uh-huh. What, I stir the pot?
No, you're the sugar baby.
Oh, yeah, I am a sugar. Well, no, Anna's the sugar mommy.
Yeah.
no,
And
that's
you're
what
the
I said.
sugar baby.
Oh, sugar baby. Okay, I see. I was like,
Yeah.
what baby is making all the money? Some weird Hollywood dynamic.
Weird.
Toddlers and tiaras? What?
All right, and I'm just going to respond to Carlton with a thumbs up emoji.
Okay.
And while drinking my coffee and glaring, and we drive to the office building.
Yeah, as you pull up to Prospero Press, you see that Jonah is also arriving. And he is a short, squat man, balding, white, and he's kind of got graying red hair with large glasses. It's like, imagine kind of Vernon Dursley, but friendlier. And like a nice guy, but...
That sort of looks like him?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And he recognizes you as you get out of your car, and he's, Trixie, I'm... okay. Let me try to get Vernon's voice down here.
You're gonna do
Porter.
Porter, no mail on. You want to know the best thing about Sundays? No post. Trixie, how are you doing? And he comes up to you and he's a little short of breath.
I'm doing fine, Jonah. It's kind of a lot to take in. But I need to do right by my Jackson, and I think you may have some information that will help us.
You're looking for his notes, or what are you looking for?
Yes, we'd love to see the notes. We will be going on the expedition as planned.
What expedition?
He wanted us going on an expedition to investigate.
I mean, I know he was investigating the Carlisle expedition, but...
Yeah. We're going to investigate that. I assume that's going to involve us going on an expedition of our own, perhaps?
Perhaps, yeah. Maybe.
and I'm gonna like nudge you and like do the little zip your lips type thing.
But anyways, I just think moving forward, having all of his notes and the whole picture might be helpful.
We just want the notes to to remember him by.
Ronnie, we can trust Jonah.
I mean, yeah, okay, I guess it's too late, but he was fucking murdered because
Jonah
of this, what I assume is looking into this expedition so there's fewer people. Anyway, whatever.
I was paying, I financed Jackson's entire research into this matter. We've been working together on this. This was going to be his next book. I mean, I know.
All right.
Can we go talk in your office?
Yeah, of course. And he leads you inside. Prospero Press is obviously nowhere near as nice as Borderline News. Jonah is the owner, but he's no billionaire like Declan Reed is. He's just a man who's built up, a small publishing company based on kind of ideas of integrity and publishing things that need to be published and stuff like that. So his books are typically well received, but the print runs are typically pretty small. It's
like ProPublica versus Vice or whatever.
Yeah. Maybe even the quality version of old New York Times from Spotlight versus anything Vice News does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once we're in his office and I can close the door and everything, be like, in addition to his notes, what did he say to you when he talked to you last night?
He just said that he was onto something big, and he was just afraid that people were watching him, and I suppose there was some truth to that.
Maybe.
Have you seen this? And he passes you a newspaper, obviously that he's just picked up. And the headline reads, "Famous author murdered." And kind of scanning over it, you see it's talking about Jackson. This is obviously very recent, rushed out. And it's the New York Times, and it mentions how the murder of Jackson bears some similarities to other murders that have taken place over the past few months.
Okay.
And it mentions a man named Hilton Adams who was arrested for those murders about a month or so back.
Okay. What the throat slit and like the carving on the head.
Yes. And there's other details. It lists names and dates and stuff, but the most important information out of that you gather is, of course, the similar murders, of which Jackson is the ninth.
Ninth, okay.
Even though the guy was incarcerated after, or the supposed...
Hilton Adams was arrested about a month or so back, and there were no more murders until Jackson.
Who are these other people?
This is the first I'm seeing of this. I'm not a reporter. I just, as I was leaving, I picked this up from my front porch, and it was just right there.
Do you mind if we keep it?
Go right ahead, Trixie.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in my bag.
And he leads you into his office. It's a pretty comfortable office, but it's nothing like stately or anything. It's not designed to...
Oh, I thought we were already in there.
Yeah. He's led you into the... kind of like the main area and then into his direct office. And he hasn't like done any decorations or anything to make it's just years and years of accumulated books that he's published, things that have been given to him. It's just kind of a cozy office.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, but he didn't give you, that's all he told you. He didn't give you any other information about who might be watching him?
I have his notes here if you want to take a look at them.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
He reaches into his desk and he pulls out a pretty thick folder and he passes it over to you.
All right. I'm going to open it up and just look at the very top page.
Yeah, the very top page is a printout of some notes from what appear to be like Jackson's... I don't know, something like Google Docs, but maybe internally for the press company. So it's confidential and not easily accessible by the outer internet, but he can always log in and write whatever he needs to, his notes and stuff. And this is what you read. A lot of it seems like it's gibberish, but what you kind of read is this. Many, many names, but all the same and toward one end. Need help. Too big. Too ghastly. These dreams. Dreams like Carlyle's? Check that psychoanalyst's files. All of them survived. They'll open the gate. Why? So the power and danger is real. Many threads beginning. The books are in Carlyle's safe. Coming for me. Will the ocean protect? No quitters now. Must tell and make readers believe. Should I scream for them? Let's scream together. I'm sorry, Trixie.
What the fuck?
So I'm...
Wait, when was the last time you spoke to him, Trixie?
I spoke to him last night. Didn't I?
And he sounded fine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll a psychology check.
Both of us?
No, just Trixie.
That's not so good. That's going to be an 80. And my psychology is 30.
He sounded normal to you.
Yeah, I spoke with him last night, because he told me when he was coming in and when he expected us to be in. I mean, I think I even spoke with him right before we left the restaurant. We went and we got those churros that Kyle insisted we get. I sort of like glare at Kyle a little bit.
Oh.
And then we...
And Jonah speaks up. Speaking to him yesterday, he didn't seem all right to me. He was in a lot of distress, and I was going to call you today, actually, Trixie, and speak to you about that. He sounded a little unhinged.
Is there a date on these notes that he...
The 14th.
So what? That's yesterday?
2 days ago.
2 days ago, because it's now the 16th.
Okay.
But like the day he was killed was the 15th.
The night of the 15th.
Yeah.
I was going to suggest that you get him some help, some psychological treatment, an evaluation. I was really concerned. I mean, you're looking at his notes. It doesn't make any sense.
I've never seen writing like this before, like from him. He's always so meticulous and calculated with his words. This is completely out of character.
And as you flip through, you see that the rest of his notes They're strange. There are about 40 pages, and some of them are blank. Sometimes he just repeats a single word for several pages. Just, it's not important. He chose like a help and just repeated that over and over and over again. Most of the entries are written with agitation, and they're largely nonsensical. It's a little weird to look at this and know this is how Jackson spent his last few days alive.
Okay. Wow. This is a lot to take in. Can we keep these?
Yeah. Those are just a copy. Go right ahead.
Okay.
This Carlisle expedition, is there information on this that Jackson had, or like where, who is he working for, and where would his notes be stored?
Carlisle?
Yeah.
I don't know if he had any notes. You could try speaking to his sister, Erica Carlisle, but
Okay.
Jackson,
Do you have...
when we last spoke before last night, he had been persuaded that a blood cult had massacred the Carlisle expedition, and I'm not he wasn't sure that the principals of the expedition had been killed as well.
The principals?
Yeah, like the primary people.
Oh, okay.
So, like, obviously there would be people traveling with them and the like, but the main people of the expedition, Jackson just wasn't convinced that they were murdered. And he passes you an email. He types on his computer, opens it up, and opens his email and turns it around. Yeah, right here, Elias sent me this. And it reads, "Dear Jonah, big news. There's a possibility that not all of the members of the Carlisle expedition died. I have a lead. Though the authorities here deny the cult angle, the Kenyan Defense Force sings a different tune. You wouldn't believe the stories. Some juicy notes coming your way. This one may make us all rich. Blood and kisses, Jay."
Blood and kisses. It's
So,
creepy.
so it just says Jay. Like, we can't tell from the email address who this is exactly.
No, you can. It's from Jackson's Prospero email.
Oh,
So it says,
he
like-
sent it. I'm sorry. He sent that to Jonah. That
Yep.
makes sense. Okay.
Though it's just signed J, the sender is j.elias@prosperopress.com.
Okay.
It's his work email.
And sorry, when did he send this to you?
Yeah, this was last month, back in December. And then he sent me his notes as well. And he pulls up those notes and lets you read through them. And this is, I'm just going to do a brief little overview. There's quite a few pages. The first set, it lists kind of the offices, officials, and locales that Elias visited. He was in Kenya at the time, searching for material concerning cults and cult rituals. Elias mentions Roger Corridon, a member of the Kenyan government. However, he notes that nothing conclusive was learned. He does discount the official version of the Carlisle massacre. The next kind of set describes his trip to the massacre site. He notes particularly that the earth there is completely barren and that everyone avoids the place, saying that it is cursed by the god of the black wind, whose home is on a nearby mountaintop. Set number 3, he is an interview with a man named Jonah Kenyatta, who says that the Carlisle murders may have been performed by the cult of the Bloody Tongue. And he says that the cult is reportedly based in the mountains, and that its high priestess is a part of the Mountain of the Black Wind. Elias is notably skeptical, but not entirely because of his experiences, as you know, in Peru. He records that there's a lot of hate and fear for the Bloody Tongue in the surrounding locales, and that there is no protection against the cult, and the cult's god is not of Africa. His next set of notes follows up on the Kenyatta interview. He confirms with several sources that the Bloody Tongue exists, though he finds no first-hand evidence of it. He writes about children who have been stolen for sacrifice and creatures with great wings that are said to come down from the mountain of the Black Wind to carry people off. And the cult worships a god unknown to folklorists, one fitting no traditional African pattern. Elias lists Sam Mariga Railway Station, Neville Germain, Dr. Starrett, Lieutenant Selkirk, and Colonel Endicott as people he questioned. And I'll send you all these as well.
Cool.
The next set is a single sheet reminding Elias that the Cairo-based portion of the Carlisle itinerary must be examined carefully. He believes that the reason that prompted Carlisle's Kenyan side trip started on the Nile. The next set is a long interview with Lieutenant Matt Selkirk, leader of the men who actually found the remains of the Carlisle expedition. Importantly, Selkirk says the bodies there were remarkably undecayed for the amount of time which they lay in the open, ending quotes, almost as if the decay itself wouldn't come near the place. Secondly, the victims had been torn apart as if by animals, though what sort of animals would pull apart bodies so systematically he could not guess. Unimaginable. Inexplicable. Selkirk agrees that Al-Shabaab may have had something to do with the episode, but he suspects that there may be more to the story than everyone was told. It wouldn't be the first time that a crime was blamed on Al-Shabaab to cover up the real criminals. Finally, Selkirk confirms that no Caucasians were found among the dead. Only the corpses of the Kenyan bearers were scattered across the barren plains, despite what was claimed at the inquest. Set 7 is another single sheet. Elias ran into Nails Nelson at the Victoria Bar in Nairobi. Nelson had been a mercenary in Somalia and had escaped into Kenya after double-crossing his employers. Nelson claimed to have seen Jack Brady alive in Hong Kong less than 2 years before Elias was in Kenya, and long after the Kenyan court declared that Brady and the rest of the expedition were dead. Nelson didn't press the conversation. This report only strengthened Elias's belief that the principal members of the expedition might still live. And the next set kind of describes Jackson's outline for the book. It takes you maybe about an hour to read all this, and your confusion is notable as you realize you don't actually know what happened to the Carlisle expedition.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot, and I'll send that to you.
Cool. That will be helpful.
There's a lot of reading.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to need another coffee.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I'm going to go to where I might be able to, brew some coffee and just take a minute for myself.
Yep.
It's just all a lot to read his writing, even though it doesn't really sound like him for a lot of the parts.
And as you're standing there, you're realizing there's a lot that you realize you didn't know that Jackson was up to.
Yeah.
You didn't know that this investigation was this deep, especially that you didn't know this much about it.
Yeah. All right. So with my coffee, I'm going to come back. All right. I don't really know what to say. I mean, I thought Jackson and I shared everything with each other, and clearly that's not the case. He never told me any of this. We do tend to keep a lot of work, we try not to talk shop all the time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we do share big things with each other, and I just really thought something like this would come up. I mean, he sent that email to Jonah a month ago, and the fact that when he talked to me yesterday, he didn't really mention anything about thinking he was being followed. I'm having a really hard time thinking about how maybe it didn't have to happen this way if he had just shared more with us.
Well, sounded like he was going to.
I know, but it was going on for so long.
That's what got him killed or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Trixie, you do know that Jackson had been traveling the globe for quite a few years now. And yeah, after getting back from Peru and kind of getting back together with him and then breaking apart, and you know that he left New York for London and Paris, after which he went to Kenya and Nairobi, and then Hong Kong and Cairo, then back to London before coming back to New York.
Okay. So yeah, I'm sort of piecing these things together, like all these places that are mentioned in these notes. Like, I remember when he was visiting these places.
And you visited him in some of those places, actually. He made time for the two of you together.
Yeah. I even went to some of these places, but I never thought to pry more about what he was doing there. I don't know. Okay, well, thank you for all the notes, Jackson. Jonah.
Wow.
Okay.
Jonah just accepts it and doesn't mention your faux pas.
Fapo.
Fapo. Hey, Fapo.
What? I love the joke of like
Tinky-winky.
mistakenly saying faux pas.
Dipsy la la fapo. Yeah. I think, I don't know. This is a lot. We're gonna need to take these with us to pour over them some more. I do think we need to go. You mentioned an Erica Carlisle.
Jonah speaks up. Yeah, she's the sole inheritor of the Carlisle fortune ever since Roger's death. She's his younger sister.
Do you have her contact information?
He just looks at you. He obviously doesn't.
Okay. Well, we are going. I think she might be our first stop. Like,
Yeah.
Kyle speaks up. I mean, she is like a billionaire. I'm not sure you can just stop by.
well, I mean, we can reach out to her and see if she'll talk to us.
We can certainly try.
I don't know. I mean, we know a lot, and if she wants answers about her brother's death, I don't know.
If she doesn't already have them.
Yeah, which might give us some answers about Jackson's death.
Right. We should. I mean, yeah. Let's go, Kyle. Can we go to your place and talk about this?
Yeah.
I don't. No offense to you, Jonah, but I mean, I don't really know you, so. It sounds like you were close with Jackson, but he's also dead, so.
I mean, he was my friend, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
I'm just gonna look apologetically at Jonah, like, I'm sorry that Roni is being so skeptical of you. Thank you so much, Jonah. And for this, and I hold up my like to go cup of coffee, just for everything. And I'm gonna gather up all the notes and put them in my bag.
Yeah.
We'll be in touch. Be careful.
Please be careful, Trixie. Whoever killed Jackson, I think it was because of his research.
Which, like, means that maybe you, Jonah, might want to find some place to lay low.
I'm not going to be cowed by terrorists.
Okay, well, just promise me you'll be careful.
All right.
You too, Trixie.
Being in danger, I guess.
It just, Roni, I'm sort of like ushering him out of the room, like, let it go.
All right. Yeah, I'm just going to let you usher me out as I smoke.
God damn it.
As I start smoking.
All right, when we get down to the car, and get in the car and everything. Okay. Okay, I guess let's go to Kyle's place.
Or can you turn the car off real quick?
Roni. Okay, fine. I turn it off.
So, and I'm going to pull up like my sleeve, which has been like covered by a shirt arm, right?
A shirt arm.
An arm shirt arm.
A sleeve?
Yeah, I want to pull up my sleeve. Well, it's not like they were like rolled up or anything. It was like a full length sleeve, and I pulled it up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's also winter out, so you've been
right.
all wearing jackets.
Good point. And I'm like, so this is the license plate of the car of those men who were in your home women, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't tell. In the suits, it was a Honda Camry, maybe 2017.
Okay. What color was it?
Oh, black. It was black.
Okay.
I don't know if you have. I mean, you've got connections, right, with the news station still. Can we get a search on who, this license plate, try to find them, and also I want to see what these articles about what was up with these other people who died
Yeah.
in the past few months.
I don't know that the news station is going to be able to search for people. I mean, can't you call in a favor, what's his bucket? The police?
Not the police. No, fuck the police. What's the big league guy in charge of the network?
Declan Reed.
Declan. Really let your emotions out. Talk to Declan. Say I can't. Our thing is very independent journalism, doesn't have to involve the police. You might be able to convince him.
And Kyle speaks up from the back. I mean, what even is the Carlisle expedition? Isn't that kind of an important part of this story?
What were they on the expedition for?
Why is it apparently so dangerous to learn what they did? I mean, if that's what Jackson was researching and now he's dead, why is that so important?
Yeah, we could ask these fuckers who killed him.
Well, from what I'm understanding, they're dead. Or at least that's what the news is saying.
Wait, the guys in the suit are dead?
No, the Carlisle expedition.
Oh no. Evan.
I'm saying these guys who killed Jackson are involved and we can question them if we can get to them, or maybe just fucking kill them. Something like that. I'm free to suggestions.
Kyle just pulls out his phone and starts typing.
What are you doing, bro?
Just 1 second.
What? You can't just do that and not tell me what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm already doing it.
Okay.
And he's typing.
Who are you talking to? What are you doing?
Trixie's just come on, Kyle. Just you know how this drives him crazy.
He holds out his phone to you, and it's just a quick Google search where he typed in Carlisle expedition, and there's in the Google search it says 14 million results.
Okay.
I mean, might be important. Just maybe.
Okay, Kyle.
I'm not saying it's not important.
Start reading. Yeah, let me give Declan a call and see if he can be looking. I want to find the guys who murdered Jackson too. And they might have some information.
If they know that we're if somehow they know that Jackson got us to go do this, we could be up next or whatever. And it's let's get ahead of this. I don't want to fucking die.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call Declan Reed.
The phone rings, and it answers pretty quickly.
Trixie, are you all right?
Hi. Yes, Mr. Reed. Declan. Yeah, what would I probably call him?
He doesn't really care.
Okay. I'm fine. I
heard what happened, yeah. I tried calling as soon as possible.
Yeah, I've been kind of busy with all the things, as you can imagine, but I was hoping that you could help us. The people who killed Jackson, we got there right as they were leaving the apartment. They descended from the balcony and just left Jackson lying there, just bleeding. Anyways, Roni was able to get down to the street in time to see the car that they left in. And I was hoping that maybe with your connections and being discreet, maybe you could look into a car. We have a license plate and a description.
You do? Yeah, go right ahead.
And you can hear that he's obviously pulling something to type with over.
And I'm like, okay, so I think it was, or Roni said it was a black Honda Camry. Weirdly, he thinks it's a 2017. I don't know why Roni would know that. And the license plate, and I grab Ronnie's arm and I just turn it so I can read off of it. It's 2GAT123.
2GAT123. Yeah, got it. Yeah, let me reach out to some of the contacts we have, and I'll get back to you.
Great, thank you so much. And just be careful. I'm not really sure what exactly Jackson got himself
Trixie,
wrapped up
you know
in.
we've heightened security since, well, what happened with Luis. We'll be okay here.
Okay. All right, thank you. And I hang up. Okay, that was a good idea, Ronnie. He's on it. So,
Okay.
hopefully something comes of that. So Kyle, what did you find out?
It's kind of some heavy stuff, man. Like, I thought these types of things were really only done in the past, like expeditions. You see expedition and you think like, oh, we're going to the South Pole or whatever, or like to the middle of the ocean. I guess I just never thought people still did those things. It's kind of cheesy, really.
I suppose they kind of are, Kyle.
Well, okay. Yeah. What was,
So, do you guys know who Roger Carlyle is? I mean, obviously it's the Carlyle expedition, but like any knowledge of him whatsoever, and roll histories.
64 to like 15.
Mine is 56 to 20.
All right. So like Roger Carlyle was like this billionaire with his sister Erica. They both were set to inherit the fortunes. They were kind of trust fund babies after their parents died while they were still growing up. And like Batman, and he's just kind of a playboy and a philanthropist and everything, just running around with chicks. Yeah, Roger's pretty much like the same thing, but without the alter ego of Batman.
Okay.
Yeah, so like he just decides to set up this expedition to Africa. Not really sure why, apparently, and none of the news articles are quite clear on it either. Yeah, he just decided to go to the tombs of Egypt. He goes with a few people. It's obviously Roger, some guy named Arthur Fletcher. It sounds like he's a psychologist. Holly Masters, and that name actually does catch both of your attention. You know her as a minor photographer of some fame here in New York. Jack Brady, a friend of Roger's, and a guy named Robert Hubbard. Yeah, the five of them, they traveled to London, spent some time there apparently, did some research, and gathered the materials before heading down to Egypt. And it sounds like they did some digs, didn't really find anything of repute. I hear like some of the conspiracy websites, they're talking about searching for like the wealth of King Solomon and stuff like that. But yeah, they didn't find anything, and due to just the weather and some medical issues, apparently they went down to Kenya to recuperate before being massacred by Al-Shabaab. And like we can go more in depth, but that's kind of like the broad overview.
Okay, yeah.
So what did they say their motivation was? No one really knows.
Yeah, no one really knows. Like Roger mentioned to a few news people he talked to, they were like looking for like some Egyptian treasures. And yeah, it's kind of a weird group when you look at it.
It was Arthur who?
Arthur Fletcher.
Fletcher.
Arthur Morgan.
Who sounds like a psychologist. Holly Masters. You remember Holly Masters, right? Like, we know about her, Ronnie.
She'd be very faint in your mind after 4 years away.
Yeah, maybe.
She's a photographer. Like, from here, from New York.
Okay.
I don't know.
This must have not been too extraordinary. I don't remember her work that well.
Wow.
I mean, I would have been a better choice, but whatever.
I suppose. I mean, you take some photos sometimes.
That's my job.
You didn't get a lot of great photographic evidence from Pulaski Creek. There were a lot of failed, I don't know what to call them, like rolls.
I rolled the bones with my photography skills.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that.
Came up a little rough. Just kidding. That's kind of weird that she was involved with that. Kyle, when did it say that this expedition took place?
Yeah, like back in 2018, 2019, which is before Palasi Creek.
Wow, this is
Like, yeah,
a while
I'm
ago.
reading here that when they were in London, they did some research with some place called Whole Earth Enterprises before heading to Cairo and Egypt. It's kind of weird. That's funny. Arthur Fletcher wrote a book that failed to make the New York Times bestseller list. What a poser.
Kyle.
Yeah, fuck that guy, right, Kyle?
Well, like Dr. Phil's here and he's talking like a bunch of crap about it.
Oh my god.
Maybe you're not quite on the most reputable sources. Can you backtrack? If you're quoting Dr.
Like it's
Phil.
the Boston Globe.
Okay.
Is that a reputable source?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually a pretty well-known news.
Well,
if you're reading some stuff about what Dr. Phil is saying, maybe.
I'm just reading what anyway, yeah. It sounds like Roger's sister Erica, she went to try and figure out what happened. She went to Kenya and apparently she found something because she came back. She refused to give any interviews though.
okay.
So she might know some stuff. I don't know how willing she'll be.
Yeah, she was
to talk
apparently
to us.
there at the trial and then the execution for the members of Al-Shabaab.
So they were convicted
Yeah, sounds like it.
and caught. Okay.
And then executed.
Yeah, I would like to talk to this Carlisle person. Or in Jackson's notes, he said something about Carlisle's safe. If we could.
There are books in it.
Yeah. I mean, if she knows anything, I mean, she's pretty involved. But it's like, how are we going to contact this person?
Maybe.
And
Maybe
Ronnie, go
Agnes-
ahead and give me an idea roll, please.
Oh, God. 85.
85.
Oh boy. Well, I don't really want to. I don't want to be a pest, and we've already asked for one favor, but I mean, maybe Declan has a connection with her. They sort of are of the same caliber. Billionaires.
Or let's say you write a piece about a potential connection, and then she would reach out to us.
Okay,
Or
maybe.
Declan. I don't know. You could ask Declan too. That might be easier at first.
I mean, we could see what he thinks. If he thinks getting her attention might be better, or if he has any connection. Hey, Car, call Declan.
And the phone starts ringing.
Hello?
Hi, Declan. Sorry, it's me, Trixie again.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. So, in trying to figure out what exactly went down with Jackson and everything, in his notes and everything, it seems like an Erica Carlisle might know something. Do you know Erica Carlisle? Or
Yeah, we've been to a few parties together.
do you think you could connect us with her? I hate to ask you for another favor. I already asked about the car.
Is this, are you uncovering a story, Trixie?
Yeah, I mean, it's an investigation that Jackson was wanting me and also Ronnie and Kyle to embark upon with him, to start investigating. And of course, he can't do that with us, but it was part of his will that we do our best to continue the investigation on our own. And I think there's a lot more here than than a lot of places are aware of. The news sources all seem to be a little bit confused in the past.
Do you have all your recording equipment and everything? This sounds like something that, I mean, not to be crass, this sounds like something that would interest our viewers.
Yeah, I got Kyle. Here, Kyle, you have all of your stuff, right?
Yeah, but we could use some of the better stuff, This is just my typical grab bag. Just Mr. Declan, Mr. Reed, Kyle here. Yeah, we could use like the rest of the equipment. I've just got a camera and a few microphones, but
Yeah, I'll have my secretary arrange it.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. I do think this can become a story. I also really just want to know what happened to Jackson. I'm all for making it a story, but you have to understand that
No, of course, Trixie.
this is
That's what comes first.
kind of an emotional thing, but
and roll psychology on that.
that is a 3?
Yeah.
Declan is 100% more interested in what this potential story could bring for him as opposed to the death of your fiance.
Makes sense. I'm like a little put off by that, but
Yeah.
I don't let it show through because I want to use this to my advantage and get him to help me. So,
And yeah, I got some information back. 2GAT 123, that car's been connected to a few other crimes that have taken place here in New York. Just some minor offenses. Caught in the camera in a few murders and one.
That's a minor offense.
Sorry, that was a fart on Brendan's part.
This car was caught at the crime scene of a few videos. A hit and run and a murder. The fact that it's still driving around is a little concerning, but...
Are any of these connected with Hilton Adams?
Who?
There have been some other... You don't know who Hilton Adams is? He famous big thing. He slit a bunch of people's throats.
No, not quite the story that I specialize in, but no, it looks like these were all just fairly normal crime sprees.
well, there's nothing normal about those assassins. I mean, that was calculated. They were...
Is there like an address associated with registration or anything?
The number's fake as far as we can tell.
Like the license plate?
Yeah, it doesn't actually have a registry anywhere.
Fucker. Okay.
I guess that's what I should have expected. Okay, well, I guess that's a dead end there. Do you think you'd be able to help us with Miss
Yeah,
Carlisle?
I'll reach out to Erica and see if anything can be arranged.
Thank you so much. I really, and then just to sort of like drive it home, I said before hanging up, I say, I really think this is going to be a really exciting story.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear, yeah. I'll make sure that you get all the equipment you need.
And he hangs up.
And after he hangs up, I just sort of sit there for a second
Fuck that
and
guy.
like I wipe some tears away. Okay, you heard the man. We've got a story to tell. I look at them.
Yeah. I don't know. Fuck that guy. Whatever.
Well, he's gonna help us, and so we got to keep him happy so that he can get us what we need to get. But yeah, other than that, you know what? Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. All right. Here's the other thing I want to look into is those other murders, right? The ones before Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, do you have like a database you can search or anything of like these,
You don't really have a database. Best thing you can do is like just look through the news.
That's just what I call the internet is the database.
Yeah, we've all got the database, Ronnie. Trixie is aware that Ronnie always refers to the internet as the database. Ronnie would also be perfectly happy to go to the library and like look at the slides of all. So, do they do that anymore?
The microfiche?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
I'd be surprised if they did.
I mean, they certainly have them for older things, but
they
Yeah.
probably store it digitally now.
yeah. Yeah, okay. I think you're right. We need to do some
But
research.
that's pretty recent, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've just been sitting in the car calling people, so I think it's time we go to Kyle's place.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so as you arrive at Kyle's place, that's where we're going to end the episode for tonight. Thank you so much for listening. We would really appreciate it if you really liked this episode or our show to give us a rating and a review. It would mean a lot to us, and we love to hear back from any listeners. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time on We Never Learned the Rules. Have a good night.